My next guest takes on Austin Arnett coming up here at UFC 234 on February 9th. It is Shane Young joining me here on the program. Shane, how are you?
Kia ora, bro. I'm good. I'm real good. Out here enjoying the Aotearoa sun.
Yeah, and you're near a bagel shop, you were telling me. They must have pretty good bagels.
Yeah, definitely just having a little midday snack in between training sessions. So I was trained a couple times today, did a little rehab session, like a nice soft session, and then getting something to eat now.
Good stuff. Well, thanks for having me part of your lunch today. I appreciate it. And it's been a bit since we've seen you in the cage. You last fought back in June of last year. What's been the reason for the layoff?
So after that last fight, my big layoff, I went away back home because I haven't been home much. So I live in Auckland City, where they've had the UFC has come here, like only into Auckland City, but I live down the line, like 5 hours away from Auckland, and all my family's there. And the big part of my like absence from the cage was that I wanted to go home and spend a lot of time back home. So I came to like a point where the Adelaide card, so you know the one that was in December, that my friend Kai fought on and Israel fought on, I believe. Yeah, they I knew that they had a matchup for me. And I basically had to tell the UFC if I wanted to go ahead with it in 9 weeks or if I wanted to not. So I made the decision. I just packed up my gears and I went down home for like a weekend, and I ended up staying there for 6 weeks, just reconnecting with a lot of my family members, and in the process reconnecting with my it was part of the process of reconnecting with my culture as a Māori boy. Yeah. So it was basically finding myself again before I can get into my next contest, because like fighting is a sport, it's a career, but it's not. It's also like it's the culmination of everything that you've done up until that point in a way, and it's you expressing yourself like fully, so that like if your mental state, your mental health isn't well, it doesn't matter how fit you are, you're probably gonna go in there and not be able to perform at your best. And it's not. And now that I'm here in the UFC, finally reached the pinnacle of our sport. Let's say like the NBA of our sport. It's like why, if I had the option, I'm glad I actually just manned up and I took the time to have the break that I needed. Like yeah.
No, that's good, man, and good for you for recognizing that. A lot of fighters would, just want to take the next fight or, jump right in there. But you mentioned it there, it's mental as well. If you're not mentally ready to go into the cage, you're not going to perform well. So good for you for recognizing that. The last time we did see you fight, you got your first UFC victory, though. You got that beautiful elbows TKO finish back at UFC Fight Night 132. I know that's a while back, but take me back to that moment. What did that mean to get your first UFC victory and, get your hand raised?
Yeah, thanks for well the victory was mean. Like we just got these bagels now.
No free. That's awesome. I got to be honest, I'm a little jealous right now.
Nah, when they start giving me free bagels, I'll give them free shout outs.
Yeah.
Now the best part of that win, bro, and my whole drive and motivation, a lot of the time, even in my training sessions when I was like, oh man, I feel like I'm gonna give up, like my drive was to be able to say my fight kōrero after, so the post-fight speech, the win speech, I really wanted to be able to speak te reo in front of the UFC cameras, because no one had done that before, and that was like a big motivator for me to even want to continue fighting at that point, because that's like part of the big break that I had, was like reassessing why I'm even fighting, because it's like I'm 25. These are like, the wonder years of like a man's life sort of thing. And I'm dedicating like 6 hours a day to something. So it's like I had to like ask myself why. And that was my big why in that fight. In that particular fight was to say the fight kōrero afterwards, which was like basically doing what I did in the cage, but with my waha, with my mouth, trying to express myself. But yeah, so that was like the big part of the win. It was that, but then the after effects, like the money and the fame. Like, to be honest, it sounds funny. I laugh at it because it's like, it wasn't even that much, like money or fame, but it was like in my head it was like everything, and I was like, in a way, it was good because it made me realize that I'd actually been my my main drive for a long time was money and fame to keep fighting, because I just wasn't happy. Like, but it wasn't that I wasn't happy with fighting. I wasn't happy with other things. Like, I wasn't dealing with my mental health stuff, or just not dealing with. It's like I was unfit. Like I was a fat slob, but still training and being like, oh, why is it not fun? It's like, because you're not working on your fitness, But yeah, following that, like with all that money and fame, it led me to have to take that break, because I had to reassess as to why I really want to do it. And it was never about the money and the fame. That was just me in a bad mindset. Sorry. So following that, that's why I took that break, and then now it's why I'm so revived, and that's why I sound like a 12-year-old girl when I speak, because I'm so like happy about everything.
Yeah. How was the UFC throughout this entire process of you saying, I need some time off, I need to refocus things? Were they good about it? Did they understand what you were saying?
Yeah, they were real good about it. They just like said, "Yeah, that's fine." Like to be honest, they weren't even. It was the media here that made it more of like I'm taking a big break, like because they were just like, "Oh yeah, sweet, we'll catch you in the next year," Like that's all it was. Like because they knew that I know that they're behind us at CKB. They want to push us. They want this market to grow. So and we're the like what I say, we're the tip of the tire. Like how they say the tip of the spear. Like we're the first coming through. I say we're the tip of the taiaha, which is a traditional Maori weapon used in trench warfare.
Okay. Interesting. See, I learned something every day. I would have not known that. I'm Canadian, so I'm learning all types of new stuff right now, which is interesting. Let's talk about your opponent here, Austin Arnett. He's coming off a big win himself. How do you feel like you match up against him in this fight?
Really well, bro. Really, really well. So I went because I've just pulled out this bagel. Yeah. Yeah, really, really well. It's a perfect matchup for me. It's like the UFC is feeding me these guys. You know what I mean? Same with Rolando. Like it was a good scrap. It was everything it needed to be to get that 50 Gs, which was everything that I needed to be to realize I needed to go home, which is everything that I needed to get to this point now when I got this 6-foot ginger American standing in front of me, perfectly lined up for a bowling ball overhand. It's good. He matches up really well with me, and I'm just happy to be fighting in a big arena in Melbourne, 20,000 people, bro, and it sold out in like 20 minutes. Like the whole arena sold out, so it's going to be awesome just being able to perform in front of all those people, and then the millions that'll be watching like on pay-per-view. It's going to be sick, fully sick, bro.
You talked a bit about your team there. What about training partners? Who are some of the main guys you get to work with for this camp?
Yeah. So other than the guys Israel and Kai Faria, there's a lot of dudes that don't have any names, that barely have any fights at our gym. That now I've trained with some of the best guys in the world, or like a couple, guys like Volk and Alex Volkanovski, and I've been overseas seeing how the other guys train for UFC fights and stuff. I can tell that we've got a good stable of really good, tough kids that are really smart. They have really good skills because they're basically extensions of us. What we've been doing for the last 5 years, grinding out as a professional team. It's like we've been doing things almost like as say Jackson Wink and stuff like that, but way better, way more like a community as well. It's more like a real whānau as well, and they're part of it. These younger dudes, so there's plenty of dudes I got training me up hard. So like, it's never a dull day in the gym. I'm always got like sharp iron to sharpen me up.
I know one of the guys you train with as well is Dan Hooker. What's the latest with him? I heard someone tried to steal his phone or something. I saw something about that on Instagram. Or is his wallet?
His wallet, and he has his truck, which has sign written all over his truck. Dan the Hangman Hooker, sponsored by Auckland Isuzu. Like that person is. It was either very dark, and they didn't see the sign writing, or they're very stupid.
Yeah,
But
because they had tattoos or something too, so they could trace whoever it was, right?
he had to put out a reward. What he's put out is a reward to that guy, that if he comes in and gives him back the wallet, that he'll teach him MMA for free for like 3 months or something. And I thought that was, yeah, because it's in his area, it's where he lives. So I think it's a cool thing that he's doing, because it's more like no, you know, so cool.
And how's Dan doing in general? Just, obviously a tough loss to Barbosa. I imagine he's back in the gym now.
He's a samurai, so he's strong as like he's someone that I aspire to be like when it comes to like mental strength. Like he's a good that's why he's El Capitan. That's why he's the the lead horse. But yeah, he's good. I've seen him a couple times. He's back at the gym training. And we're running a charity boxing event for suicide awareness in a couple of weeks, a 14-week boot camp sort of thing. So we're like full steam ahead with that. So I just saw him like a couple of hours ago at that, talking about that for this weekend. We're having the first like trials and stuff. But no, anyway, he's real good. Everything's good as at the gym. It's something to do with this beautiful sun. I don't know, just like our environment, everything's good. So just being happy with that at the moment.
How do you see this fight unfolding on February 9th?
I see me just controlling him throughout, finding my distance, and then just capitalizing on every opportunity that presents itself and creating those, and just being in control the whole time. And any sticky situations that happen, nah, I don't even see sticky there. To be honest, okay, I just don't want to sound cocky. Like I just see me like controlling this dude the whole time, making him miss, making him pay, and then finishing him early.
Okay, I like that. Now, with the fact you've had this sort of gap, are you looking, if you come out of this fight unscathed, are you looking to get back in there right away? Are you looking to fight in the U.S. at all? Like, what's sort of the plan after this?
Ooh, yeah, the US would be nice. Yeah, something like that. Like, yeah, something. If I could get something 8 weeks after the fight, I'll take that. 6 weeks if I come out like if the only thing that hurts is my knuckle, like that'll be sweet. But yeah, probably more likely we have to wait till something in like March or May or something, because of my schedule after that is a little bit tight with that charity boxing fight night. Like I want to invest a lot of time in that. But no, I definitely want to. I'm gonna try and get 3 in this year. Three fights in this year at the least. But I could have 6. I feel like I could have 6 fights this year. Every 2 months. Start in Feb, and we'll go May. No, yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
What do you like doing on your downtime? I saw in your avatar for this Skype call, you got, you seem like you're into anime a little bit. What would I find you doing on your downtime?
Nah, my downtime, I like to sit alone and think about the world. I like to, I just like to just hang out with good mates like this fella here, and just enjoy the beautiful country that I live in and the beautiful people that are in my community, and then just hang out by myself.
Yeah, it's needed. I know, man. It's alone time's good. It's good to kind of decompress, right, and sort of take everything in. So it's important. But this is going to be a great card. It's coming up here February 9th. It is UFC 234. Shane, it was great getting a chance to talk to you. Appreciate you having me part of your lunch. Just remind people where they can find you on social media, and if you have any sponsors or shout-outs, the floor is yours, sir.
Yeah, sweet, bro. So, shot for having me. That was cool. Doing an interview roadside. Yeah. But you guys can follow me on Shane Young MMA on anything like Facebook, Instagram. Yeah, bro. So, so I'm sponsored by sensory deprivation tank company called Float Culture here in Auckland, and awesome car dealership that gives me my ride to get A to B and get to bagel spots like this. 0800 deals. Other than that, bro, just my team, CKB, my whānau, my iwi, Ngāti Kahungunu, Pinieru, represent, multiculture all day. All right, shop, bro. I better get into this bagel.